Right, in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can set your routine, why you should set your routine, and how to follow it and what it means for you. I'll start this off with a personal example. So, my own personal life. I've been trying to make a routine for a while now, and I've actually not succeeded too well because I've always made all these super filled up routines, right? Like, you take a full page, like a full blank page, and I just fill that up with activities from every single minute, right? And it was just way too much, right? It was way too much, and I just kind of I tried to make it like my ideal day. I heard people say that, oh yeah, your routine should be like your ideal day. So I just kind of thought to myself, okay, my ideal day is I genuinely fill everything up to the brim, right? And I mean, to some extent, that's good. But I ended up just making it in such a way that it was impossible to follow. Like I was physically incapable of holding to myself to that routine, right? Because I mean, it didn't take me 10 minutes to take a long shit. It took me 15. Like all these kinds of different things, right? And at some point, I just ended up being like mad and frustrated over it and annoyed. And I just thought to myself, fuck this, I'm not gonna have a routine. But then I said, how about we just kind of simplify it a little? I simplified it, still have a page, long as shit, still really difficult and complex, right? And I went through it and I tried it for several days, didn't really work out that well. And I've rewritten it now after a while, and I think it's going pretty well. I mean, I've made it very simple. It's quite a short one, right? It's simple. I've introduced everything that I like, and I've been doing a bit of good progress, I think. One of the most important things that I've changed is the fact that I train like first thing in the morning, right? So I wake up, I kind of go to the bathroom, I do the basic necessities, I meditate, I eat a breakfast, and then I go cycling in the city because I don't really live in the city, right? I have to cycle like a bunch. So I have to cycle and I'm cycling to the gym then, and then I'm coming back home, and that in total should take me like around 4 hours. Maybe, I mean, if I spend like 1.5 hours, 2 hours at the gym, maybe, yeah, around 4 hours, right? And then I go on with my day. I work, I read, I meditate, I journal. I do all these kinds of things that are very important, right? And I think it's been going quite well. I want to mention this, like, very important aspect. The fact that this routine that you will have, like this routine that I have, is minimizing the bad chaos in my life. Like that is like a very fundamental thing that you need to know and that I think will help you a lot. The fact that you don't just have this routine just for the hell of it. You don't just have it so you can go up to your friends and be like, "Oh, look at my heavy workout grind routine and oh, look at this crazy self-improvement routine." I'm not making this video to be like, "Oh, my daily routine, guys, copy and paste it and do it and let's all fucking be millionaires." I mean, it's not gonna work that way, right? But the good reason why you should have a routine, is because it's minimizing the bad chaos that you have in your life. It's like you don't want to end up, trying to. I mean, you could try to just kind of improve your life so much that you don't have any kind of bad chaos anymore. But at the same time, I feel like life is very chaotic in itself. And the fact that you just think that you're never gonna have any kind of bad chaos anymore is just kind of unreal, right? It doesn't really make sense. There's always gonna be some unexpected turn of events that will kind of annoy you or something. Like you're trying to do some more. This is a personal example as well. I just wanted to go on a walk in nature at some point, but then my parents called me. They asked what I was doing. I talked to them for a little bit, and then they mentioned about how I should cut the grass as well. And in case you don't know, I have a huge garden. Lucky me, which is like it has very annoying grass that is very heavily cut, and I thought to myself, oh shit, I have to do it. But then I thought to myself, yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it. I mean, I can follow my routine, right? But at the same time, I can also cut a damn yard. I can like cut the grass in the damn yard, right? There will always, I mean, this was not the bad chaos that I'm talking about. Like this was kind of like a very minimal example of that, right? But I mean, there will be things that will be happening in your life. Right now I'm in the summer, and summer break, it's like June, almost July as of when I'm recording this. And it's the summer break and I don't really have school to do and I don't really have any other activities that are outside of it. So I really have a bunch of time to just focus on what I want to do, right? Focus on my own growth and my own progress. And so, I'm gonna take the L on having to cut the grass in the yard, right? Or I'm gonna have to take the L on doing something else around the house, or I'm gonna have to take the L to going out with my parents somewhere. That's like the minimal bad chaos. And there's also the big bad chaos, like somebody gets hurt or somebody gets sick, you get sick, and you can't really follow your routine that well and everything, and all kinds of things, right? But I mean, all in all, what a routine can help you do. Yeah, and I haven't mentioned, sorry, I'm just way too fuzzy right now. I think it's because like I ate a bowl of pasta before and I've known that carbs don't really do well when it comes to working, so don't do that. So the bad chaos that I really want to mention is the one which is just you living a chaotic life in general, right? That's it. That's everything you should be thinking about, right? When I'm talking about chaos, kind of disregard what I've said before. You're living a chaotic life. Living a chaotic life is very bad in itself because you don't have any set of order, right? You don't really have. I mean, yeah, you can say to yourself, yeah, okay, well, today I'm just gonna do whatever I feel like doing. But most of the time, whatever you feel like doing is just not gonna get you anywhere. Like, sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym, bro. Sometimes I don't feel like training legs 2 times a week. I don't feel like doing that and have to also cycle back home like an hour. I don't feel like doing that, but it's in my routine. I have it set. That's the routine that it is. I'll do it. And if I weren't on a routine, if I just did whatever I wanted to do, I'm not sure I would have been training right now. I'm not sure I would be cycling to the gym in the morning at like 7 a.m. I don't think I'd be doing all those things. I don't think I'd be eating right. I don't think I'd be journaling, reading, meditating. I don't think I would be doing any of those things because sometimes you don't feel like doing those things. And a routine helps you, kind of understand that it's not about just wanting to do something, it's about having to do that. I mean, when you have it written down and you've like intentionally told yourself, hey, this is what I have to do, this is what I want to do, this is what's gonna be really good for me, I'm gonna make a lot of progress, and it's gonna be awesome, right? If I follow this, it's gonna be awesome, I'm gonna make good progress, I'm gonna do good work that fulfills me and helps my family, my loved ones, and myself. Cool. So you say that, and then you have like a sense of accountability to actually go out there and do those things, right? Even when you don't really feel like doing them. Like, you probably heard of this message, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, right? That's kind of what it means, right? In this sense, like the routine, bro, you will be there will be times when you won't feel like doing what you've said in your routine, like your perfect day, because sometimes you just don't feel like doing those things, but that doesn't matter. That's not part of the game, not wanting to do something. It's about doing it, right? And that's the way that you minimize the bad chaos in your life, because when you just live this chaotic life and you just do whatever you want, or you just kind of decide on the spot what you want to do, you're just wasting a bunch of time. I mean, when you have everything, like imagine you're just planning the day before you actually go to sleep and you wake up the next day, right? Like in the evening before that day. You plan that next day, bro, you plan it in a way, and imagine you wake up and you go straight to what you said in that like evening, right? Before. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at this time and I'm gonna do this and this. Okay, and the next day you wake up at this time, you do the thing that you said, and the next thing, the next thing, right? Because you've already had them played out in your mind. Like imagine you just don't you like just feel a little bit off when you have to wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, what am I gonna do today? I wonder what I'm gonna do today. Maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, or I could do whatever. Maybe I could go to the gym. I don't know. I think today I'll take like a rest day. Today I'll be a rest day because I've been training hard. I mean, I haven't really had a cheat meal in a while, so I might as well take a cheat meal. I mean, I don't know. It's a rest day, bro. Oh, I don't feel like really working, bro. I don't feel like making progress towards like a meaningful mission, bro. I don't know. I just won't do it really. That's what a chaotic life leads to. This chaos, like you don't know what you're gonna do. You have no idea what you're gonna do next. So the chances of you actually doing something productive, they kind of diminish. And so the best thing that I think you could do is again, start a routine, build a routine, make a routine. Follow that damn routine. I mean, when you have it all written down and you know what you're gonna do, when you know that you're gonna wake at 5:50 in the morning, and then you're gonna go to the bathroom, and then you're gonna meditate, and then you're gonna eat breakfast, and then you're gonna get ready and go cycle in the morning to the gym, and then go to the gym, cycle back, do this and do that. When you have it all set down, it's just so much better. And a lot of people, they have this implanted belief, like this just belief that has been just put, like just literally implanted in your own mind by all these kinds of other people and the media out there and everything. Like, bro, they all say that like having order in your life and having this sense of thing is just like unethical at all. Like, it's not good. It's morally wrong because you're not living your life, bro. You're not living your life. I mean, imagine what most people would think of when they see somebody on a strict routine, like they really want to follow. They just see this person being caged by all these different pressures of doing this and doing that. But fuck me, bro, if you're on self improvement, if you're trying to build something and you have a routine set and you know exactly what you have to do, it's not just about all those pressures, bro. It's about the fact that you're doing something. I mean, if you know that all the activities that you're doing are gonna help you, if you know that by journaling and by reading when you don't feel like it, or by going to the gym when you don't feel like it, it's gonna help you, bro. There's no more kind of like negative external pressures just pushing in on you. It's about, okay, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it because I know it's gonna be good for me. I know it's gonna genuinely mean a lot to me and for my future, right? So that's very important. Order is set for continuous productive activities, right? So I think I've already mentioned a little bit of this. Like, a routine helps you set order in your life, right? To some extent, it basically minimizes chaos. I mean, order and chaos, they're two things, right? They're two fundamental things that you're always gonna have in your life. I've learned this from Jordan Peterson, by the way. Great fucking author, whatever you want to call him. Great guy. Order and chaos, right? You're gonna have both of them at the same time, but the way that you live your life, you can kind of prioritize one or the other. And to some extent, I think, especially in situations like these when you really want to make a lot of progress, maybe a bit more order is going to be better than like a lot of chaos, right? A bit more order and a little less chaos is good. I mean, when it's just order, no chaos, it's not going to be good, right? You're literally like living like a robot. But when there's a little bit of chaos, maybe this, maybe that, you get like an event coming up that you might really want to go to, so you'll kind of skip on doing that because like that's really important. That means a lot to you. Spend time with your family instead of, I don't know, meditating or something, right? There will always be a little bit of chaos, and that's really good, right? I'm not just saying leave all chaos aside, but as well, you should prioritize order if you're trying to make progress, right? And so you will build this order by setting. You will set this order by doing the continuous productive activities, right? And I mean, you could say that you can kind of set order without really doing like productive activities. You can just kind of do activities in general that are just kind of continuous. You do them at the same time every single day or something like that. Yeah, it's orderly, but I mean, you're on self improvement, bro. You're trying to better your life. You're trying to develop yourself into a better person. You're trying to grow, right? Then they have to be productive. Like, they have to be productive activities. Like, that's a no brainer. And so you will only make order happen. You will only make yourself feel like you have some order in your life. Like, you're like, I don't even know, bro. If you probably felt it, like the idea when you just know that your life is going well. The idea when you know that you have some things planned and they're really good for you and they genuinely mean a lot to you. And you know that they're planned and you're going to work on them and they're going to happen. That's order. And you feel great. You feel great knowing that to some extent you have control over the future. To some extent, right? To some extent you have control over your own behavior in the next, God knows what period of time until you achieve that goal. You achieve that thing that you've wanted to go for. I have something written down here, discipline equals freedom. You've heard that before, haven't you? If you've not, think about it. Discipline equals freedom. Why? I mean, a lot of people, again, when they think of a routine, they think of this like military black and white thing when you're just like kind of like working and you're like a robot and you don't have any kind of emotions. You only have like negative external pressures just pushing you in, right? But think about it, when you're really disciplining yourself to do the work which is meaningful to you, there's no more external pressures. They're away. Life is more colorful than it'll ever be. You will not feel like this sense of like pressure on you anymore. You'll just feel amazing knowing that you're doing some meaningful work, even when it's not really something that feels good. I don't know, maybe for you that could be going to the gym, maybe that could be exercise, maybe that could be developing relationships. There's all kinds of work that can be done, right? There could be like business work and all those kinds of things, to kind of, or career work. I don't know, all kinds of stuff like that, right? So there will always be some kind of work to be done. And so when you discipline yourself to do that work, and you do it like every single day, right? At the same time, from this time to this time, I work, right? When you do that, at some point you will benefit from it. Like, somebody who works on their business from this time to this time in the day, every single day, and they try their best to maintain that, bro, those people at some point, they will make so much progress that they will be far ahead of a lot of other people, right? And they will make a lot of profit. I don't know, they will be very successful in what they're doing, and they will eventually make some sort of profit. And I mean, maybe that's their goal, right? They make some sort of profit and everything, and they end up kind of freeing themselves from all the other problems, right? That they were facing. Because I mean, at this point, you have like this meaningful work that you're doing, which to like in itself frees you up from like both internally and externally, right? Like internally, you feel fucking amazing when you're doing something that's really valuable to you, right? Like, don't you feel that amazing when you're making good progress every single day to something that's really valuable to you? And at some point, when you actually reach a good level of success in that thing, it feels amazing. And that's like the inner peace and the inner freedom that you get. And the external freedom, let's say you're kind of caught up by money, right? You have to pay all these taxes and you have to buy food and you have to provide for somebody or something, and you're like really really tight, right? You don't really have any money, and you don't really have freedom. You maybe instead you would really like to do this other thing and this other thing, but you can't really do that because you have to focus on money, because you have to focus on getting food on the table, of doing this and doing that, right? Or keeping yourself straight, setting yourself straight. Well, by working and by disciplining yourself to do the work, the meaningful work which will bring you success and hopefully some financial stability and everything, bro, you will be able to get rid of all those money problems. You won't have to worry about taxes, about other things. You won't have to worry about providing food. You won't have to worry about providing basic necessities. And you will have a lot more free time to just focus on what you really want to do. And that's like the external freedom that you get. So that results in like the one of the most truest things I've ever heard. Discipline equals freedom. So keep that in mind. Right. At this point, maybe I've kind of convinced you that, yeah, a routine is a really important thing. Well, how can you build your own routine? So the way that you build your own routine is it's not even that difficult, right? You kind of think, take your most important aspects of like the things that genuinely matter a lot to you, like the activities that you do which you'd like to do much more of and that are really productive to you. For me, those would be exercise, reading, journaling, meditating, working on videos, working on my YouTube channel. What else? I don't know. Like stuff like this, right? Like things that are genuinely mean a lot to you. Like they're very subjective. Like what matters for me might not matter for you, and what matters for you might not matter for me, right? It's really subjective. So find the things that are genuinely mean a lot to you. And I mean, if you're lucky enough to not have like a very tight schedule as I do, right? I don't really have a tight schedule. I don't have school right now. I'm a kid. I'm living at home. My parents work. I don't have to work. I don't have to do all those things, right? So I'm really, really free. Like I have the whole day to myself. And I'm going to take advantage of it, right? I'm going to take advantage by giving back to my home, by giving back to my family. And I do that by working on this. And so, again, yeah, if you have the time, just think of the perfect day, right? How would the perfect day, if you kept in mind all those important things all those important activities that you thought of, right? Keep them in mind and include them in your perfect day. How would it look like? Okay, you wake up at this time and you start doing this, then you do this, and then you do this, and then you work on this, and then you work on that, and then you talk to this person, and you go there, and you do that. Like, take those, like, very important, productive, meaningful things for you. Put them in your perfect day. Maybe write that down somewhere, like, kind of materialize it to some extent. Like, write it down on a piece of paper, maybe on your phone, on your computer somewhere, and have it, like, always somewhere close. And that's it. That's your routine. Just kind of, like, maybe write down some times for it so it can be much more accessible. And that's it. Like, that's, like, again, like, the mistake that I made the first time, the thing that I mentioned at the start of the video, you will, like, you'll, like, be like me and just kind of fill the whole thing up with a bunch of useless stuff, right? Just the stuff that genuinely wouldn't really mean that much, but you're like, well, I kind of like it, so I'll put it in there. No, fill your routine up with the most important things. The most important things, right? The things that genuinely matter a lot to you and the things that bring you growth. Like the things that you're sure that bring you growth. Not just some wishy-washy shit, right? The things that you know will bring you growth, they will bring results to you. Things that genuinely make you feel good and fulfilled with yourself. Right? That you know will do that. And put those things in there. And that's your perfect day. And if you have any free time in between, just kind of fill it up with other productive activities. Don't waste your fucking time scrolling on your phone or doing something else. Right? Don't do that. That's stupid. And so, that's essentially how you build your routine, man. Kind of write it down on a piece of paper on anything, on any kind of screen or something. Write down your perfect day. Make it so that it's a productive, fulfilling, ambitious day that has discomfort and at the same time has times of relaxation and focus, like mind focus, and also has like all these moments of discomfort and just kind of physical strain to them, like exercising, right? Like that would be something, and reading would be like the opposite of that. So try to add a lot of things from both the physical and the mental side of things, because that's very important. Strive to follow your routine as best as you can, but don't get frustrated when things don't just suddenly work out, right? So one of the mistakes that I made was that I just thought to myself, I believe that I just write down this routine and the next day I do it perfectly, and the next day after that, and my entire life I just do everything that I filled up a huge page with. And that was impossible. Like from the first day I was incapable of doing like a majority of that because it was just much too unrealistic. Like it was just minute by minute shit. Like I was like I should have been like rushing to do everything. I should have been running from there to there to there. Like no, I mean you shouldn't be living with like a stress in your life to just follow the routine exactly perfectly. Like I mean, you should try to follow your routine as best as you can, but when it comes to like all these weird, unrealistic routines, like don't do that, right? So trying to build a good routine that is realistic and that you think will you can follow for the rest of your life. Like that's essentially it. Like when you think of the word routine, maybe it's kind of like taking a different meaning nowadays. But what does routine really mean? It just means something that you usually do. Like it's a process that you do on a daily basis. It's something, it's a set of activities that you do on a daily basis. I think that's like the definition of a routine. And so try to make this routine as realistic as possible, according to your environment, according to what you want to do, but at the same time include some ambitious things in there. Like don't just make it realistic as in, yeah, just go to work, watch TV, jack off, play video games because that's realistic. Because no, fuck you, don't do that. Have some sense of ambition, right? Have some sense of confidence that you're gonna actually do something productive and do something productive. Be ambitious about it, right? And but don't get pissed when things won't work out well. Like again to the concept of chaos, right? This chaos will genuinely be in your life at all times. Like you will always have like a pinch of chaos or like a huge fucking steaming ball of it, or I don't know what, right? You'll have it in small quantities and in big quantities, right? And so you need to kind of get to this point where you're pretty much okay with the idea that, okay, I won't always be able to follow my routine like perfectly. But as much as I can follow it, I will follow it. As much as I can go through like the activities that I've set for myself, I will go through them. I won't waste time for no reason. Like, let's say you don't really wake up at the time that you've set in your routine and you feel like shit and you're like, fuck, 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 I destroyed this day, I ruined it. But you still have to, like, God knows how long until you go to sleep. Like, you still have, like, a big part of the routine. Although you fucked up this part, you messed it up because it's gonna happen. I mean, until you build discipline and until you genuinely do something productive, like, proper with yourself, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have fuck ups. I still have fuck ups after a year of self improvement. Well, go on, keep going, don't stop. Do the next thing, and do the next one after that, and the next one and the next one. Don't stop. Don't demoralize yourself over stupid stuff, right? It's better to do like 30% of your routine if you can manage it than like 0%. It's better to do 50% of your routine, half of your daily activities, 75% of your daily activities, than less. Right? So you might as well take it as the more things that I do on this routine, the better. But there will be some things that sometimes things will get in the way of them. That's it. But yeah, as much as life will get in the way, though, I need to make this very clear that you have to set your priorities straight, right? So don't do this stupid cope thing that, oh well, so this guy on the internet he said that there will always be some kind of chaos in my life and that I won't always be able to follow my routine completely. So because I just really don't feel like doing it, I can just mask it by, oh shit, I have to go do this. Sorry, I'm not gonna go to the gym because I have to go meet this person, or I have to do this and whatever. Or I cannot really do that because of this. Like, don't downplay things. just for the sake of downplaying them. Don't do all those things just for the sake of doing it. Like, really think about what you're going through. Really think about what you're thinking, if that makes sense, right? Really listen to what you're saying and don't just jump to conclusions based on like the shit that's in your mind. Like, bro, you won't always be right. Like, you won't always just, your mind won't always make the right judgment. So think twice before you do some shit. Like, think twice before you go out of your way to just skip on your routine because, yeah, I have something else better to do. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really feel like it. So I'll go do this, guys, because yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen sometimes. I'm not always gonna just be able to follow my routine. So, if it just happens like 3 days a week, oh well, I mean, 4 days left. Come on, that's still progress. 1 day a week in which I follow my routine, the rest is just bullshit. It's still better. Like, don't bullshit yourself in that way. Like, set your priorities straight. Know that what you're doing in your routine is very, very important. Is very fucking meaningful, and it will bring you freedom to do a lot of things in your life. Discipline equals freedom. Don't forget that. And so by just not having any sorts of priorities and just kind of anything that really gets in the way of your routine, you're like, okay, cool, I'll do that instead. Like, don't let anything get in the way. Only let, like, important things. Right? I'm not gonna fucking, like, there's been countless times when I've been asked, hey, by my friends, yeah, you wanna go out? Like, I don't know, waste time, or I don't know, whatever they're doing, like, just walking around. Hey, you wanna go do that? I just said, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I have stuff to do. Not always, but most of the time I've done that because I did have stuff to do. Which I prioritize over just going out with those people and kind of just walking around. And so that's what I think will really help you. The fact that you have to prioritize the things that you're doing, the activities that you're doing. Yeah, so by following the routine, you will make progress because of the discipline that you're building as well. I mean, again, discipline equals freedom. The more that you do, even when you don't feel like doing that, the better, because you're building discipline. You're disciplining yourself to be better, to be a good person, and to do it even when you don't really feel like doing it because it has to be done, right? There's no way around it. So yeah, I think this should be enough. It's quite a long video anyway, so I'll see you next time, bro. Good luck.